Morning to you and welcome to another exciting time on television. It is Business Angle and I'm Ogali Mafiru. And so we kick start the program with a look at the Nigerian Stock Exchange market. The Nigerian stock market sustained its positive outlook on Tuesday to begin the month of December on a positive note as the Osha Index and the market capitalization rose further by 0.30% each. Market watchers attributed the development to renewed confidence as bargain hunters continue to leverage undervalued stocks. The market breadth, however, closed negative as the number of gainers at the close of trading session was 16 while decliners were 21. Consequently, the Osha Index grew by 105.48 basis points or 0.30% from 35,042.14 index points the previous trading session to 35,147.62, while the capitalization of equities appreciated by 55 billion naira to close at 18.36 trillion naira from 18.31 trillion naira. A look at the Nigeria currency value. The foreign turnover rose significantly by 379.6% as the Nigerian exchange rate at the NAFEX window depreciated against the dollar to close at 394 per dollar during the inter-trading on Tuesday, December 1st. Also, the naira appreciated against the dollar, closing at 490 naira per dollar at the parallel market on Tuesday, December 1st, 2020, as the CBN's new policy on diaspora remittances seemed to be having a significant impact on the black market. In the amended procedure of receipt of diaspora remittances, the recipients are allowed to collect dollars and can now sell at the black market in an apparent attempt to improve liquidity in the forex market and reduce the disparity between the black market and official market. With less than 30 days to January 1st, 2021, date for the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria has urged the federal government to review its stance on border closure, citing that the trade protocol is premised on liberalization of intra-regional trade in the continent. Indeed, the border closure has created rancor between Nigeria and its neighbors, especially Ghana, while its economic impact has been severe for Nigerians that depend on imported food to address the shortfalls in local production, as well as manufacturers that exploit the West African market for expansion. From rising food inflation to higher cost of logistics and loss of business to other suppliers in the global market chain, the closure of the borders might have spurred domestic agricultural industry, but the production capacity remains inadequate to meet rising food demand and raw materials, while farmers crave for that the borders remain shut for as long as possible to continue to enjoy the monopoly in local markets despite supply gaps. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria stated that negative impact of the border closure is far-reaching and would linger even after the border is opened. President Muhammadu Buhari has transmitted the Finance Bill 2020 to the National Assembly for consideration and passage into law in support of the 2021 budget. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, who made this known at the plenary session of the House, said the President's request was pursuant to Section 58 and 59 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. The Finance Bill 2026 to support the implementation of the 2021 budget by proposing key reforms to specific taxation, custom, exercise, fiscal and other laws. Specifically, the provision of the bill comprises the adoption of appropriate counter-cyclical fiscal policies to respond to the economic revenue challenges precipitated by the decline in international oil prices, as well as the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the Nigerian economy. President Muhammadu Buhari yesterday launched a program that will enable no less than 40% vehicle plying Nigerian roads to run on compressed natural gas. By 2021, the country shall have converted 1 million cars to cushion the impact of petroleum subsidy removal, which government said gave trillions of naira yearly. During the virtual launching of the Nigeria Gas Expansion Program and Nigeria Auto Gas Rollout Initiative of the State House Abuja, Buhari noted that the development would enable domestic utilization of the country's 203 trillion cubic feet gas. He said that the new development was not only going to ease the hardship rising from the deregulation of the downstream petroleum sector, but would also serve as a veritable medium to cleaner environment, job creation, and catalyst for the growth of the Nigerian economy. Admitting that deregulation had exposed many to price volatilities in the global market, they urge attention to more affordable alternative energy sources. And to discuss some of these issues with me is Miss Sonia Dudu.
Good morning.
So pleased to have you with us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Well, the first issues we'll talk about before we go to the issue of farmers, for the 3 farmers that were killed in Borno State, the impact on the production of food, especially knowing that food is gotten from the north. We'll also discuss that. But before we go there, let's talk about the border closure and some of the impact. What is your take on the border closure? Seeing now that the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria is calling on the federal government to do something about this border closure, especially as it has somewhat impact on the nation's economy. What would be your take?
Well, I think that the government should actually review their stance on this border closure, because we're seeing the impact that it's making for farmers. We have increase in food production, but if we see that this problem or issue still remains, we'll start thinking of what to do. Farmers will start having problems on how to produce this food, because there isn't an opportunity given to us by.
You know, farmers are already saying that they prefer the borders being closed because they want to enjoy the monopoly in the market by providing. They should be the producers of foodstuffs. They don't want competition. So, what would be your take on that?
Well, I think farmers should be more open to new development. If they should be looking at the greater good of what this can do for the economy.
Okay.
Yes, so if we can have more food produced, if we could have more hands with us in order to grow this economy, I think farmers should be able to open themselves to the new development.
Okay, but you know about the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement that the country Nigeria is having with about other 15 African countries, and it's all in the bid to facilitate easy trade among member countries. And one reason the federal government, stated for the border closure is to curb smuggling of items, and that is not needed in the country. But you can see clearly that continuous closure of the borders will have an adverse effect on the nation's economy. We have an overwhelming population, and the farmers we have cannot really,
we can't deal on monopoly alone. I think what government should do is put agencies in place, put security personnel in place to help curb this smuggling of goods into the country, because we cannot dwell solely on monopoly. So I think government should place agencies, security personnel on those borders to ensure that this smuggling of goods is curbed and prevented.
Okay, before we go into compromise of security architecture at the various borders, let me tell my viewers that they can, join their voices to the discussion here at the studio by calling the number 080-7842-9677. The numbers will be on the screen as well. You can call and air your view, your opinion on the issues that we're talking today. Now, you talked about having adequate security at the borders to ensure that smuggling and other, unhealthy vices that will impact the nation's economy is being curbed. But what about them being compromised? Because we've heard cases where some of these agencies are being compromised, are being bribed to allow certain illicit goods to get into the country. How would they, handle issues like that?
More of these people that the government wants to employ as security personnel should deal solely on neutrality.
Okay.
A neutral ground, because when you're not neutral, when you're not transparent, all of these vices are likely to happen. So I think the people who are being called as security personnel should be ones who could be neutral and transparent, ones who who knows the job and want to do it for the betterment of the economy, because we have so many corrupted individuals around. So we need people who would stay on the basis of neutrality, and especially those who will be trained for that job.
Now, let's talk about the numbers to call again. Is the numbers are currently on the screen, so you can call in and air your views on these issues. Now, let's talk about the 43 farmers that were killed a few days ago in Borno State in a rice farm, considering the fact that the rice production is still not at its point where it can cater for the overwhelming population of Nigerians. Yet we still have issues of farmers being there's a call coming in.
Okay.
Hello. Okay. So we have issues that we have issues trying to cope with overwhelming demand for foodstuffs, and I think that is also the reason why we have increased inflation of food prices. So what would be your take now, seeing that most of these farmers are being killed, they can't go to their farms anymore. We see the overwhelming crowd of refugees at the IDP camps, and these are supposed to be farmers. So let's talk a bit about the impact of these insecurity on the nation's economy, especially the north, who is bearing the brunt of it all.
It's quite a sad experience, especially for our northern brothers and sisters. I think government should try as much as they can to make sure their security is upheld, because if our farmers out there who help us grow this food that we need as a country are dying, and they don't have the opportunity because of fear of their lives to go to farms, so how can we feed?
Okay.
So it really affects everyone in the country.
Okay. Yes. So what would be your advice to the southerners, now saying that we rely so much on the food coming from the north?
I think we should go on farming. Yes,
but there's this general belief that our soil does not really support farming.
That's what they say, but I think
they've been,
of course, they've been, and we could have.
We can grow rice.
Yes, we can. We can grow rice. We can grow tomato. We can grow pepper. We can.
Okay. So what are the ways you think our government here in Delta State can begin to harness the agricultural sector? Excuse me, let me see if you can get this going. Good morning, everyone, my viewers out there. Please, when you call in, kindly stay away from your TV sets so we can hear you. So we've highlighted the need for our government to do more in terms of security, because if the security aspect of any nation is not guaranteed, it also have an impact on the economy. Now, as a country, as a state, Delta State, what can we begin to do in terms of agriculture, seeing that most of the products we rely on from the north, we don't really get access to them. First of all, transportation, bad roads, having to convey those products down to the south is also a huge challenge. So what do you think the government here can begin to do?
Well, I think that
So please, when you call, stay away from your TV sets. Yes, please.
Okay, I think first and foremost, the government should understand that we are in a situation where we actually need to eat, we actually need food. And so I think what the government can do is provide the resources that we would need to start farming. Okay. Yes, in every local government in the state, we should have resources for agriculture being distributed to each of the units. Let's start growing, let's start farming, so that we don't suffer any food lack.
Okay, I think a call is coming in. Okay. Hello, good morning to you. You're welcome to the program.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. You're welcome to the program.
Hello. Good morning to you. You're welcome to the program. Good morning.
You're welcome, sir. Please stay away from your TV sets.
Hello.
We can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. So we highlighted here earlier that President Muhammadu presents finance bill to the National Assembly, and that part of the content in that bill is seeks for the implementation of the 2020 budget by proposing key reforms to specific taxation, custom, exercise and other laws, all in a bid to cushion the impact of COVID-19, that there's going to be a kind of a relief from certain tax, for businesses and households. Okay, let's see if we can take this call. Good morning. Good morning, sir. So what would be your expectation from this come 2021, observing the impact of COVID-19 pandemic in the nation's economy, and seeing that the government is making steps towards cushioning the impact of COVID-19 through all of these interventions and palliatives and so on and so forth? What would be your expectation from this?
My expectation would definitely be change.
Okay.
Let's see the change. Let's see the action being put in place. That could be my expectation.
Okay, so let's quickly go to the gas. President Buhari, he launches the scheme to power vehicles by gas. President Buhari yesterday launched a program that would enable no less than 40% of vehicles plying Nigerian roads to run on compressed natural gas. I think that's a good one. What do you think? He says, added that the new development is not only going to ease the hardship rising from deregulation of the downstream sector, it's also going to lead to cleaner environment, job creation. Those gas flaring now can be utilized for, something better. So he says that it's also going to be a catalyst for the growth of the Nigerian economy. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
Okay, I think it's actually a good idea. Because natural gas is eco-friendly. So, but one thing I think that we should put into consideration is, let's see the side effects. If you're making a decision like that, let's know if, the advantages, are they more than the advantages or vice versa? So let's look at what gasoline can do in our environment, because...
Let's see if we can take this call before you continue. Yes. Hello. Good morning. You're welcome to the program. Good morning, sir. You're welcome to the program. Can we know your name, sir, and where you're calling from?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. You're welcome, sir. Can we know your name and where you're calling from?
I'm calling from Ojo Road. My name is Ife.
Okay, sir. You're welcome to the program.
I'm calling from Ojo Road, Warri.
Okay, you're welcome, sir.
Yeah, my name is Ife.
Okay, you're welcome, sir.
Alright, concerning the money government according to your second girl that said there. Are you hearing me?
I can hear you very well, sir.
Yes. That girl has said something meaningful, that resources should be given to every local government, to unit and whatever. But the problem is that when the money comes, most of these farmers, they don't have money to join the union, the farmers union organization, and they like to farm. They have vast of land in their locality where they will do farming. So how could such money go to them?
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for your contribution.
Yes. So that area should be looked into.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for your contribution. Yeah, that's a good one there. So we didn't highlight. He didn't talk about insecurity there.
He was saying, how would the money actually get to those farmers who don't have the money to actually get into these unions? How would they get to them? So I still think it's about transparency.
Okay.
We have to. It's not about the money now. It's not about who gets the bigger share. It's about the economy at large.
Okay. So we were talking about gas, and we see that the Auto Gas Initiative is coming at a time where the global crude oil market is fluctuating.
Yeah.
the price of crude is fluctuating. So I think that's the reason why there is a need for, there's a call coming in. Let's see if we can take this one. Good morning, you're welcome to the program.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. You're welcome to the program.
My name is Samuel. I'm calling from Warri.
Nice to have you with us, sir.
I come to what you are saying in the studio this morning.
Yes, sir.
Your partner talked about doing monopoly that time by blocking the border and try to be blocked in Nigeria. Right from the one when we're in
I can hear you, sir.
yeah, right from the one when we're in the we farm, we make money from the farm, we do that goods. But we have this view of farming. So it was a kind of subsistence farming.
Okay.
For we to be able to say, okay, we don't want importation of stocks. We want everything to be produced in Nigeria here. We need government support in terms of facility. You understand? Imagine a farmer that wants to have a 12 acres of land that he wants to buy and he wants to use for farming. You cannot use that farm with your hand.
True.
You understand?
Yes.
So we need empowerment from government. And sometimes when like the past caller just said, sometimes when the empowerment comes, you need empowerment that comes to the state. You see maybe the local government chairman or whatever, those on power, you support the empowerment. It's not supposed to be like that. So the government really has to, place some agencies in terms of security that will actually guide this empowerment in terms of empowering farmers. I think that would be better.
Okay. Thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you so much, sir. So he made mention of subsistence farming, and that if we must be self-sustainant, as a nation, we must now move from subsistence farming to commercial farming, and that will entail government support. That would, yes, government need to support them. There's another call coming. Good morning. You're welcome to the program. Good morning, ma'am. You're welcome to the program. Kindly stay away from your TV sets, please, so we can hear you. Please call again and stay away from your TV sets or reduce the volume. So he made mention of subsistence farming, and we know that that's what is obtainable here in the southern part of Nigeria. Most persons, they have farms at the backyard, somewhere around their house. Yes. So, but if we need to be self-sustaining as a nation, then we need to move from subsistence farming to commercial farming, and we'll need government collaboration in terms of providing equipment, like he said. We need storage facilities, we need tractors, so of course you can't weed entire, acres of land with your hands.
Another thing I think can happen is if government could provide monetary assistance to every local government. And then we have
a call is coming, please. Let's just take this one for you. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. You're welcome to the program.
Hello.
Yes, let's hear what you have to say, sir.
Hello.
We can hear you, sir. Okay.
And with that money being distributed to the local government in turn distributes it to families in communities, and then we know that this money is coming in. We can have hectares of land where we grow crops, and then we have a portion being distributed for the entire community. this family can.
So the distribution should be
Yes.
community based.
Yes, exactly.
Let's take this call first. We'll continue. Good morning. Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. You're welcome to the program. We can hear you. Go ahead. We can hear you, sir. Go ahead. Please try again. Try to call back. I think the network is a bit messy. So, in closing, I'd like to have your final thoughts on this agricultural issue. Seeing that insecurity is becoming a huge challenge, what would it tell us here at the South, in preparing, to provide some of these, basic items in terms of food, to our own population here in the South?
Well, I think, like we said earlier, we can start farming. We can be farmers now. The Southerners can become farmers. We have, as long as we're having the support from government, we can start farming, helping ourselves. If we can help ourselves, it in turn means that we're helping the state, because we are not so much of the burden on the government, but rather we're helping ourselves help the government. So I think with government support, we can do something on farming.
Okay, thank you very much, Sonia Dudu, for making
much.
this conversation an interesting one for us on the program Business Angle. And thank you everyone who tried to call in on the program. Do well to join us for another exciting time on the program Business Angle, same time, same Wednesday next week. And of course, we'll be talking about something very, very interesting as well. And that's where we'll draw the curtain on the program Business Angle today. Thank you very much for staying with us.